Now going over to the Cultural Pod podcast, you have Matt Walsh reacting to a New Yorker agreeing with Zohrans' vision, even though he disagrees with many of his policies. Now this is brought to us thanks to Matt Walsh, hashtag Matt Walsh blog, hashtag the Sweet Baby Gang, although cannot elaborate further on that note. Now he's responding to Sneeko Updates, who says, quote, Sneeko went off on Matt Walsh and called him, quote, quote, absolute moron for endorsing Zohran Madhubami. You can't talk about foreigners when you're owned by a foreigner. Your boss is literally a Mossad spy, unquote. Now, Matt Walsh, and I'll play this video in a second here. Matt Walsh, I'll just play the video right now, actually. And cover your ears if you have children listening, because this person drops many of the words used in rap lyrics. Let's just say that much. Well, I should clarify. That's all pretty much all bad words, but the F-bomb.
I'm very excited to see what Zohran does in the next coming months. It's like the most controversial subject on X, on Twitter right now. Matt Walsh was talking, called me what did Matt Walsh call me? He called me an absolute moron.
This is very rare. A New York City subway, and we've gone 14 seconds. No one, I don't believe I've seen a single person get stabbed or defecate themselves. That's very rare. This might be the rarest film of New York City subway ever. Just saying.
But he's bought and sold by Ben Shapiro. Matt Walsh, you can't talk about foreigners when you're owned by a foreigner. Your boss is literally a Mossad spy. So before you complain, I'm Donnie saying defund the police. I don't agree with his socialist takes. I don't agree with him supporting transgenders and surgeries for children. If he does, I'm completely against that. But the most important issue to me is somebody who's anti-Zionist right now. And if he's a real New Yorker and he has a vision for the city that aligns with a lot of the people, then I wish him the best of luck. Does it make me a socialist? No. Does that make me a queer liberationist? No. But I think Matt Walsh should shut the fuck up. Quit your job. If you're going to talk about foreigners, stop working for an Israeli spy. All right, then we can have this conversation. And right now, it just seems like a whole bunch of yap.
Yeah, so voting for a socialist doesn't make you a socialist. That's his line of intellect. Also, if you actually look into the business structure of the Daily Wire, the first person to make the biggest fiscal investment in the company were the Wilkes brothers, which are, they're famously based out of Texas. And I'm pretty sure they're Christian. Now, Matt Walsh responded to this guy saying, quote, this guy has an IQ of a pancake. Really? A strikingly stupid person. That almost sounds like Trump really quick. For a second there. This dude has an IQ of pancake. Really? Strikingly stupid. Well, I'll get back to Matt Walsh's quote. Quoting him saying, quote, he says that he disagrees with Zohran's platform, yet he agrees with his vision for the city, which is somehow distinct from his platform, apparently. He then calls Zohran a real New Yorker, even though the guy's from Uganda and has only been a citizen for like 6 years. Just totally incoherent, unquote. And this got, pretty viral, got 1.4 million views as well as, 21,000 likes, which is quite a few to say the least. Not to brag, but one of my videos last week got 3 or 4 likes. One might have been for myself, if I'm being honest. But nevertheless, 3 people. It's all about quality over quantity. As Trump would say, those are the 3 most awesome people on the planet. Those are the coolest, the G's, the OG, the original gangsters. Love the Topping Talks videos. Even though his name is hilarious, we still click the like button. Or give him a nasty comment with some feedback. Constructive criticism, always appreciated. Now, that might be the worst Trump impression you hear all year. But that perhaps is an accolade in and of itself. Like Ford making, having more recalls than anyone on the planet. But I partially digress. Now, going into the comment section, one of the first ones comes to us thanks to E. Miles Chong. Now, he says, quote, it's truly some goofy shit to call Ben Shapiro a foreigner when Zohran's an actual foreigner, as am I, but you don't hear me trying to turn the United States into a communist shithole. In 240 likes, which is, I think, pretty sure Ben Shapiro's born in California or New York. Where was it? Which, granted, some people might argue makes him a foreigner because the states are such the antithesis of what our founding fathers believed in terms of ideology and politics. But in all seriousness, he's born in the USA. Paul Zazupa says, quote, that's your typical New Yorker these days. That's why the city is collapsing. It's a ghetto soon, or it'll be a ghetto soon. 124 likes for that. Again, when I first started the show, no one tuned in except maybe family. And there are no subscribers. And I spoke faster than Ben Shapiro and more awkwardly than Joe Biden trying to climb upstairs. And even stuttering perhaps more than Joe Biden. But as I slowly surely gain more subscribers, I've been better at speaking. Some people might make fun of me saying barely any improvement at all, but statistically speaking, I would argue still an improvement. So, fuels my theory. The more people subscribe, the better I speak. And someday I may get through an entire episode speaking perfectly. Maybe, perhaps, no promises. But that's why I ask you again to click that subscribe button and or tell your friends or your enemies. You might piss them off so much, you at least get some interesting conflict. Or they'll be so enamored with your great taste in my show that your enemies will become your friends. Just saying, might make for an interesting story. Now, going back to the comment section, you have Joel Berry saying, quote, "This isn't complicated. Zohran is an anti-Zionist. It's the only issue people infected with the Jew hate virus care about." Getting 293 likes? Or sorry, 793 likes. Probably dyslexic too. Me. The flag guy says, quote, "All anti-Semites are strikingly stupid," getting 211 likes. Mike simply says, "I noticed you didn't call him a liar," getting 392 likes. This got 5.8 thousand likes. Jeez Louise. This is from Sneeko saying, quote, "You're not America first. You're employed by an Israeli and will avoid any debate with someone who confronts you about that. Don't flatter yourself. You're 40, and your only serious debate was with a transgender college kid." It's getting 5.8 thousand likes. Which, again, I mean, employer, was it? Is it Caleb? What is it? The CEO who took over for Jeremy Boring was not Caleb. It leaves me at the moment. But again, Ben Shapiro obviously is a co-founder of the company. He owns, obviously, I don't know if I would guess, yeah, he has majority shares of the company. Again, the largest investor that the public knows about, at least I know about, I've heard about, would be the Wilks brothers. But I partially digress. Smite Thee simply says, "At least this Zohan guy seems to put America first. Can't say the same about your master," getting 952 likes. One of the things that I don't like the most about this Zohan guy is, I mean, he said he wants to ban all guns in a tweet from, was it 2020? I mean, this guy's on authoritarian as it gets. In addition to wanting to give away free stuff and, let criminals out of jail. I mean, literally he wants to ban your guns. How could anyone with a modicum of intelligence vote for him is beyond me. But again, he did win the Democrat primary. I mean, that's kind of what they stand for these days. You also have common sense extremist. So you can't speak anything at all today. You got to click that button. Says, quote, "I'm more curious about your thoughts about your checks being written by foreign intelligence," getting 537 likes. Brotherhood says, quote, "Sneako's thing is that he's right about one specific group of people and wrong about literally everything else. Inconvenient person to have in your cohort," getting 226 likes. Jay says, "You're a traitor to America and its people for kneeling to Ben Shapiro until they fix that. Your opinions do not matter," getting 351 likes, which, again, of the Daily Wire's remaining cast, again, they kicked out, Candace Owens, then also Brett Cooper. I mean, Matt Walsh is probably the one that disagrees with Ben Shapiro the most. That being said, in terms of deviation from the, not group, well, I guess you could call it group think. I mean, Matt Walsh is most famously known for being an isolationist. So he's not anti-Israel. He's saying, let's use a greater resource allocation to fixing our country first. And again, that's not the antithesis of Ben Shapiro's ideology, but it's very much against what Ben Shapiro stands for. I mean, Michael Knowles is very much more in line with Ben Shapiro in terms of, again, many of their shared philosophies and ideals that they promulgate. But again, Matt Walsh, of all the people in the Daily Wire cast, or, I don't know what you call it, brain farts today. I swear, I appreciate everyone's patience. Of the whole Daily Wire crew, I mean, he's much more contrarian. Now, again, that being said, he does shorts. I mean, he doesn't go too far, so to say. He's, again, mostly an isolationist, which, but again, it's not like he agrees with Ben Shapiro every single day. Human flourishing, I mean, also, I'm not sure if anyone cares, but I mean, even geographically, they're also separated, with the Daily Wire famously headquartered in Tennessee. I mean, Shapiro and his studio where he is at is in the Florida office. I mean, I don't know if it matters to anyone, but like, it's not like they're talking every day and Ben Shapiro's telling you what to say. He's disagreed with Ben Shapiro multiple times, with, I guess, two of the biggest, more recent, more pertinent things we disagreeing with: U.S. funding of Israel, and then the U.S. arming and, doing some of their munitions dropping for Israel, with Matt Walsh more being against those. Let's see here. Trying to see if there's any more contrarian statements. Glory Perry says, quote, "It's pretty comical how each time you completely ignore the fact that you work for Ben Shapiro. You say that you disagree with Ben Shapiro's desires for total white replacement in America, but at the same time you work for him. Just completely incoherent," getting 1.4 thousand likes, which I believe Matt Walsh has responded to. Well, Biden said it famously a couple times about the white replacement theory. So is Obama, in terms of, their actual agreement with it. Ben Shapiro is very much on the mind of, I don't care where you come from, but as long as you share the same ideology, who cares what we look like? So I think, yeah, again, they all keep saying works for Ben Shapiro, which, again, he's, an owner of the Daily Wire, but he's not technically in the leadership position. I'm sure he still has a great influence on the company's vision and as they would call it, their window. But yeah, definitely he is one of Matt's most famous tweets of the month. But let me know what your thoughts are, because, me, as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say, even if it takes me a couple days to get back to you with my schedule. I always try to take time to respond with everyone, even if it's something I don't agree with. Even critical feedback is appreciated. So click that button, tell your friends, as well as give a comment, and I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.